Okay, another early morning, another knocking out a section of the CD collection. We're still on the C's and gonna just keep on going. First up, we have the self-titled debut from Charred Walls of the Damned. This is a bit of a supergroup. It's got Tim Ripper Owens on vocals, Steve, I think DiGiorgio is how you pronounce that, from Testament on bass, along with a couple other pretty well-renowned musicians on this. This is the only album from Charred Walls of the Dam that I own. Pretty good debut, kind of thrashy. It's got like a mix of like power metal and some like chaotic thrash going on this. Pretty decent. I mean, not exactly what I would find myself just gravitating towards all the time, but not a bad listen nonetheless. Next up, we have a release that came out last year through Life After Death. I love Life After Death. They're one of the few labels that still put out new releases pretty predominantly on jewel cases, which I can appreciate. This is Chasm Dweller with Bacterial Lotus. Pretty cavernous sounding, kind of death doom. Good stuff. I definitely want to pick up some more Chasm Dweller for the collection. They had a shirt on Life After Death for this particular release. I don't know if there's any left or not, but at some point, if they still have them in stock, I think I would like to get my hands on that shirt as well because I really did dig this Chasm Dweller release. Next up, a band that I did not like upon first listen. I received a CD of them through Metalhead Box at one point. I ended up selling it because I wasn't too into it. I got another CD from them through Metalhead Box again, and I listened to it again, and it just clicked. Then I went back and picked up the two prior full lengths as well. This is the debut full length from, I believe this band is out of Costa Rica, thrash metal. This is Chemicide with episodes of Insanity. This was released on PRC Music. I believe Life After Death also got some physical copies of these in. I believe that's where I picked this one up. They had a limited stock, and I saw these on there. And for the price that they were going, I wouldn't be able to find them any cheaper, so I snatched them up as quickly as possible. Next up, this is the sophomore release from Chemicide. This is the Act of Retaliation. I don't know why. Just upon first listen, this band just did not click, and I kind of prematurely sold the album. And upon listening to them later, a lot of times your mindset and mood can completely make or break an album. And upon that second listen, my second kind of introduction to the band, giving them another shot, it just everything just fired on all cylinders right, and I wanted to re-add them to the collection. I immediately regretted my decision before to kind of purge that album, and then this is the one that started it all for me for Chemicide. This is Inequality, just killer thrash metal release here. So thank you to the folks at Metalhead Box for their persistence in making me check out this release and check out this project. All three of those came out on PRC Music. Next up, we have some Finland Melodeath. This is Children of Bodom. This one is the kind of deluxe edition remaster or reissue of their debut, Something Wild. This one's okay. It's not my favorite Children of Bodom release. I really don't gravitate to listening to this band as much as I did at one time. There was a point where I did listen to them quite frequently, but as of within recent memory, just the desire to pull them off the shelf above other things just has not been there. Here we have Children of Bodom with Hate Breeder. This was probably my favorite release from them back in the day. This one got a ton of playtime. The self-titled track, that was one of my favorites. The actual Children of Bodom track, I enjoyed that one as well. I think the majority of these are all released through Nuclear Blast. It's a shame with the as you get older, you know, musicians start passing away and people that you enjoy listening to, and you'll just never have a chance to see them live again or anything. And that's kind of where we're at with Children of Bodom. This one is Follow the Reaper. Pretty consistent theme with their artworks with the Reapers on the front. I don't have to speak too much on this band. I mean, if you're watching this video, I'm sure all of you know who Children of Bodom are. Kind of different color schemes going through the albums as well. Then we go back to the red. This is a Hate Crew Death Roll. This one also got quite a bit of a play from me when it was released. My stomach just growled really loud. I don't know if you could pick that up. I hope the camera, it wasn't loud enough that the camera could pick that up. Bit of nostalgia going back through these now, kind of looking through. This is the special edition. I don't know what's so special about it. It may have some kind of video or something. I don't, yeah, video enhanced. So I don't think I've ever even watched the video or anything on that. Next up, we have Thrashed, Lost, and Strung Out. This is the EP that was released in 2005. I think there's like 4 tracks and then 2 videos. So this one is enhanced as well. I've never watched the videos on this one either. This one was kind of a little cash grab. This one was put out by Century Media. The majority of these were Nuclear Blast, so I guess when Century Media got their hands on something, they had to try to get their hands in the pockets as well. This one came out on Spine Farm Records. This one is Blood Drunk. Obviously, I don't have all the Children of Bodom releases. Not something that I'm probably going to go out of my way to seek out at this point either. That I may, you know, come full circle at some point within my life, and then get back to wanting to add them all in my collection and that type of stuff. But I'm just kind of at the place now. I'm happy with what I've got in the collection from the project. This one is In Your Face. This is just strictly a video, but it's in that kind of super jewel case. That's why it's on the CD shelf. But this one is just a DVD. I think there's four like there's 2 actual videos, and then I think 2 live tracks, 2 live songs on that video. Here we have Halo of Blood. This one was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Of course, I'd had like a little break from the band before this one came out, and then listening to it, I enjoyed. I don't know if it was just that I had missed listening to Children of Bodom or what, but when this one came out, I did enjoy it quite a bit. And then when this one came out, I really did. This one was quite good. This one is Worship Chaos. I was kind of surprised with how much I like this one as well. I'll probably leave this one out. I say that at least 1 or 2 albums per one of these videos I've released kind of gets left off the shelf when I put them back in, just because it's kind of like a remembrance. Hey, I want to listen to that. I haven't listened to that in a long time. But that one was Worship Chaos was actually a pretty solid release. Moving on, we have some kind of speed. It's got some punk influences as well. This one's okay, kind of speed thrash, has some punk stuff going. This is Children of Technology with Future Decay. This was released through Hell's Headbangers Records. I got this in one of those either like Black Friday deals where they're selling CDs for like $3 or $1 or whatever. I decided to check this one out. I mean, it's all right. It's not something that I'm just going to throw in quite often. It's just, I mean, I remember listening to it, and that's all I could think was That's Alright, and I was just kind of planning on what I wanted to listen to next while this was playing. So next up, we have probably the most mediocre band that I've ever seen live. This is Chimera, and this is I don't even remember the name of this. Self-titled, maybe. I've seen this band live. Well, I don't even know if they're still together. I saw this band live probably 6 or 7 times, opening for different projects. It seemed like this band opened for anybody and everybody over a span of about 10 years or so. And it was always, I mean, I like them much better on CD. I guess I'll say that. Unfortunately, it kind of takes away from me wanting to listen to the CD, just remembering how it just felt boring the live sets were each and every time. We have Chimera with the Impossibility of Reason, which is a shame because I don't find their music to be that bad. I just I don't know. I would just about rather see anybody else perform live. It was I don't know. I don't like talking bad about projects. I mean, because the music's not bad. It's just the live show was a bit atrocious. This one's actually going to be a much shorter CD collection video. I know some of you won't mind that. And then we have Chimera with Resurrection. I actually did enjoy this release quite a bit. Probably a lot of people's least favorite just because I enjoy it. So it tends to be the way things tend to go. Actually, and I think I saw them on support of this album, and I remember I think I actually bought a shirt because it was one of the better times, one of the better performances that I had seen them perform over that span. Next up, we have some atmospheric black, kind of black and doom. This is Chiral with Abysso. I think this is a band out of Italy. This is probably one of the weaker releases that this band has put out, and it's the only one that I own. I've heard some of their other material, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I saw this one going cheap, so I was like, hey, I've been wanting to check out more of that band. Grab this, and it's okay, but some of the other material that I heard leading up to me purchasing this was quite a bit better. Next up, we have Christian Mistress with To Your Death. This was released on Relapse Records. I probably got this in a Relapse grab bag. A little bit different than some of the other stuff that I've gotten from Relapse. This is some doom metal, some kind of classic sounding doom, infused with like a stonerish type doom. It's female fronted. It's a very good album. If you follow my Instagram, you probably saw that I was listening to this this past weekend. Pulled this one off the shelf and was giving it a spin, and I mean it's definitely a good enough release that it does still get playtime from me amongst everything else that I have going on. So pretty good, pretty solid release there from Christian Mistress. Next up, we have some Goth Rock. I got this in a Season of Mist grab bag, and with a name like this, you would expect like some death metal or even possibly black metal, black and death metal. No, this is Goth Rock. This is Christian Death with American Inquisition. When I got this in that grab bag, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I should probably know more about this band than I do. I don't know why I don't know so much about this. And then I started listening to this album, and I was like, yep, that's why I don't know that much about them. It says "In Goth We Trust" there on the thing. That's pretty funny, kind of tongue in cheek. I like the fact that they're a goth rock band, but they don't take themselves just too seriously. They're sometimes in that general realm of music, in that kind of gothy stuff. There are some projects, some people involved that take themselves entirely too seriously. Christian Death does not do that, and that is something I can appreciate. That's not a bad album. It's not something I'm going to gravitate towards all the time, but it's not bad. It was pretty enjoyable for what it was. It was bound to happen at some point. We've got some emo. This is Christie Front Drive with their one of their self-titles. This was released on Magic Bullet Records. I got this in when Magic Bullet was doing a lot of their liquidation stuff. This is some emo, but I mean it's a little bit darker, a little bit heavier style of emo, I guess. I don't want to call it heavy, but it's, I don't know, it's enjoyable to me. There's not a lot of emo that I can say that about. Then we have a deluxe remaster. This one is self-titled, but it's not the same album. They just, it's different tracks. If that makes any sense, they just self-titled two different releases. This one also has a DVD. I think it's like a live. I have not watched the live. I have not watched the DVD. This was I think this was recorded like early '90s, so you kind of get that that '90s nostalgia feel going on. And then we've got some post black. We've got Chrome Waves. This was the release that got me into Chrome Waves. This is the Gravedancer 5-track release. This was my introduction to Chrome Waves. I fell in love with this release, and I kind of fell in love with Chrome Waves. I know that they get kind of mixed reactions from people. Probably hard for the camera to pick that up. There are some that do not like the material at all. I dig it. I think Jeff Wilson, you can kind of have your personal opinions about him if you want, but he's an incredible musician, and I do enjoy everything that he's involved in. This one is entitled "A Grief Observed." I have pre-ordered the new release as well. It's coming out, I think, in September. Looking forward to adding that one into the collection. And then I have the one that I think this came out last year. Time at this point, like, the whole 2020 is such a blur, just with the craziness that was 2020. I think this came out in 2020, it possibly 2019, but I do think this came out last year. This one is entitled "Where We Live." Enjoyed this one immensely as well. Actually did the bundle with this, where I purchased the shirt and the CD, because I enjoyed like the pre-order. They put up a track or two, and I enjoyed those enough to go ahead. I knew I was going to like this full length enough to go ahead and get the shirt and everything with it, so I went ahead and did the bundle. And then last, we have one that I have not even opened yet. This is a spring sampler from Chug, and it has a bunch of different Chug bands. It's got Dealey Plaza, Distant, Snake Father. I haven't heard them. I need to, I guess, check some of this stuff out. I mean, it's pretty straightforward that that's deathcore on there. Chug kind of fell apart after some scummy stuff went down over there. So I don't know the full story, so I'm not gonna just elaborate on it too much. But it seemed pretty unfortunate the way things unfolded over there. So, but that's all for this one. Moving on, I'm actually on the top shelves again, so that helps. And I will try to get another one out as soon as possible. I am trying to at least get 2 or 3 of these a week knocked out, so we're not on this CD collection series for 6 years. So I'll see you guys soon, I promise.